is going to be What If Asta Was the Son of Meliodas and Elizabeth, Part 5. And I know you haven't asked him for this, but I've actually been just trying to figure out how I was going to bring him into it. But I just really figured the new person I was just going to bring in. And yes, just to answer your question, I saw in the comments, yes, Elizabeth will be coming in the story soon. And she will come in soon. So, just to start off, after we last left off with the battle with the leader of the Midnight Sun. Asta slumped on the leader of the Midnight Sun. He knew he could not handle him. He had to leave. He had to boot. He had to get out of there. And Asta now just saying, "Hey, we can head back home now." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, could we just sleep for a second? We just got on the hitch ride." He said, "What? Come on, let's just go." Funeral. He's there, and he just instantly take them back to the house, and they all slumped down on the ground outside of it, and then everyone goes inside. Meliodas and Asta are still outside, and they're just talking to each other. And Meliodas says, "You did well. You did good. Your training was not a waste of a time." He says, "What do you mean? Of course it wouldn't be a waste of a time. I am goated." He's like, "Just shut up, kid." And then Meliodas goes in. He disappears. Actually, he just disappears. He's just gone. He disappears and teleports right into the I don't call it a guild hall. I can't think of what it is. I just can't think of the name. I'm gonna just call it a guild hall. The guild house. He teleports right into the guild house, and he goes and sit down and have a drink with Vanessa. They're just going at it. And he just starts saying, he just starts looking sad at Vanessa, asks him, she says, "What's wrong?" He says, "I used to do this with my best friend." The drink? He said, "Yeah, we would drink all day. And drink another all day. Drink again the next day." He says, she said, "Wow, you must have good friends. Must have been good friends." He says, "Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time though." Okay, now we're back outside, and Austin is still there. He's walking, he's trying to walk in, and then it's like he sees something, but he can't really see it for real. And then he touches his chest, and he says, "My necklace, my pendant, where is it?" And then he looks over at the tree. He sees a guy up there in a trench coat with a hood over his head. Really can't even see him. And he's holding the pendant, and he's like, "This should go for some nice. This should be mine now." And the guy tries to run away, but Asta is now pissed. He ain't no. Oh no, he took no. He's like, "Bro, that man just took my stuff. I'm finna beat the fuck out of him." He instantly activates his demon mark and chases after him. Chases after the mystery man. The mystery man then looks back and says, "What? That demon mark? I knew that this pendant seemed familiar, but that as well? It can't be. Could it?" And then he stops and he turns around and says, "Kid, what's your name?" Asta then says, "My name's Asta, the owner of that pendant you just stole. Now give it back, or you will suffer." And he says, "Suffer? Kid, there's nothing you could do to me." And then Asta just says, "Oh really?" He makes two condensed balls of energy and shoots them directly towards the mystery man. And then it hits him dead in his chest and his stomach. The holes, you can see giant holes within the mystery man. Then he says, "See, now give me my pendant back." And then that's when he starts to look. He says, "What? That's impossible." And then the wounds start to heal up, and he's seeing smoke coming out the man. He says, "No, that can't be." And the mystery man, then turns off. He turns off and he takes off the cloak. He says, "Kid, why would you do that? You know how hard it took for me to get that? You know I had to spend most of my money to get that? Just, what? Who are you? Just, how did you just hit?" He says, "Look, I gotta ask you something. Where did you get this from?" He says, I got it when I was born." He says, okay. That power of yours, that way you use it, you couldn't figure that out just like that. I've seen it before. Who trained you to do that? my dad, his name is Meliodas. The mystery guy then says, he starts laughing. He starts laughing just out loud. He says, "What are the odds? Me coming across that's not no Brad's Brad." Oh man, it's been a while. He says, "Who are you? How do you know my dad or anything?" He says, "Do I know him? Kid, I'm his best friend, Job. Literally, I'm technically your uncle." He says, "What?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "But I don't sense any demon energy going on." "No, I'm human. Me and him have been friends for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we were in the same group together." He says, "And this was your mom's." "Yeah." He says, "Well, really?" He said, "Do you not sense there's something wrong though with it though? That's why I snatched it." It was like I knew that this was your mom's, but I also it was hers, but I also it was like I feel some magical power in it. I can't do anything about it, but I'm guessing you probably can, but that's why I grabbed it. Um, but where's your dad?" He goes, he says, "Okay. Let's slow this down. You're my dad's best friend?" "Yeah." "And you're immortal?" "Yes." "But you're human?" "Yes." Also correct. Says, "Okay, let's go. That makes a lot of sense." "Really? It does?" He's literally in there, a projection of magical energy, drinking and fighting people. You think I don't? You think I can't? You know what? Let's just go. They end up just heading back to the guild home, and they walk in, and the man he still has his hood on. He only tear it off like under, like a little bit under it, a little bit where the holes ended up at. So he still has the hood on, and he goes in, and then Meliodas, and he's drunk, and he says that that magical presence. Says no, it can't be. The guy then rips off the entire the entire clothing hood that he has on, and he then says he looks at Meliodas from behind, and Meliodas turns around and he looks at him. They both have very serious looks on them, and then does Vanessa then says, "Who's this guy?" He says, "Asta, who is he? Is he some friend of yours?" And then Noah says, "What is going on?" He says, "Why are they not cool with each other?" Then he looks there, everyone looks at the guy, and he says, "He's tall. He's very tall. He's very slim, very muscular. He has very distinct like white, blue, grayish hair. He has fangs and a tattoo. Is that a fox?" And then he looks at him and says, "Why are they looking at each other like this?" Bogdan says, he puts his hand in his hair and waves, "Captain!" Melissa jumps over the thing and says, "Bond!" They just goes over and just start hitting each other rapidly, just start punching and punching and punching and punching and punching. Meliodas getting thrown back, Bond getting punched through an entire wall, and things just going out of place. Everything is going on. It's everywhere. They're like, "Wait, what is going on? Are they fighting or what? Are they Austin says, "Don't worry about it. They're friends." Said, "Friends? They're friends, and they're doing this to each other." Yes, it was that. Look at the guy. Look at him. Look, see, he's healing rapidly. As I can assume, they're the best fit for each other. He says, "Hey," and then that's when he says, Melody says, "It's been so long." He says, and then Bond grabs his head and he's mad. He says, "Yeah, it's been like what? A couple hundred?" He says, "A couple hundred, maybe a few thousands." He says, "Yeah, like, bro, you have got old." He says, "What? No, I have not." He says, "What is that I see?" He says, "What? Is that a gray hair?" "That is not gray hair. That came from stress." He says, "Yeah, right. Where's Elaine?" He said, "Where's the kid?" He says, "They're at home right now. I just came out, to do a few my little band is good, but I also did sense familiar magical power here and found your says, did you try and steal something from him? He says, you you know me too well. He says, Asta, yes, this is your Uncle Bond. He's immortal, as I'm pretty sure you already know. He probably already told you. He's the fox son of greed from my old, well, as you guys, easy way to say it, Magic Night Squad, but it was only consisted of 7 people. He was the fox son of greed. Um, yeah, his question was stealing. Yes, yeah. And then he says, Millicent said, so do you want to have a drink? He says, Bondin says, I've been waiting for this my entire rest of my life. He says, infinitely rest of my life. He says, you still with them corny jokes, huh? What? You got them jokes right after your child was born. Yeah, I don't know. He says, well, let's just drink. He says, cool. He says, they see Vanessa and she's already drunk. She says, you know what? More the merrier. Let's go. They just chugging, drink after drink after drink after drink. And Austin's over there talking with the rest of the Magic Night Squad. He's just talking with the rest of the squad. They just getting in. He's just saying, well, your dad and your uncle were complete drunks, just like Vanessa. He says, well, I guess like difference between them is that it's easier for them to sober up very quickly. He says, well, yeah. And then he Bond calls over house. He says, hey kid, I sense 2 types of magical power from you. Well, I sense an essence of a third one, but I don't know what that is. But let's talk about the first 2. That darkness, that's your dad's, right? And you must have inherited your light from your mom too, huh? He says, well, yeah. And he says, do you think you can heal this scar? He says, I don't know. He says, Millicent says, yeah, that is, no, you can't heal it. Do not heal it. He says, Bond says, why? Why can't he try and heal it? He says, well, you literally tried to take my sword, so that's punishment. Captain's orders. Nope, captain's orders. You will not get that healed. He says, you know what? Sometimes I just want to throw you through a wall. Do it and watch I throw you through the roof. He says, I miss these days. He says, yeah, I do too. Then Bond then says, well, have you met any other rest? He says, no. Most likely, I mean, we could go and search for some of them. I mean, but that would probably, we could do that. Maybe we take Asta with us or sometimes. It says, meet Elaine. It's been a long time. See Elaine and everything. It says, so how old is your kid now? She's roughly a few 100 years old. He says, what? For real? He says, yeah. How old is yours? He's roughly a few 100 too. He says, wait a minute, wait. Austin says, hold up. Wait a minute, calm it down. I'm 15. No, Miller said. You're older than 15, way older. He says, how? He says, well, you're a demon mixed with an angel, youthfulness passed down, plus my genes of how I am. You stayed a baby for just a few hundred, before a few more hundred. Before that time, you started to grow up, and throughout the rest of the 15 years, and hence you have that body right now. And yeah, it says, so you mean to tell me I stayed a baby for hundreds of years, and then right when next 15, I started to grow? Yeah. That sucks. You mean to tell me that? No, that's not fair. He said, that's not fair. I could have been taller than you. But no. Jeans. How tall was mom? Wait, she was way taller than me. Yeah. That's not fair. No, I don't know. I'm sad now. He says, it's okay. Well, at least you get to, well, I have no benefits to it. He says, you know what? Says, well, I guess we can just finish talking, catching up. Okay, a couple like 30 minutes go by. Yami then comes out and they see this tall man in the living room. He says, "Who's this?" Says Austin. Says, "That's my uncle." He says, "Really?" And then in Yami's mind he says, "Are you serious? That's his uncle. This magical power coming off him is so pleasant but frightening, just like his dad's. And they seem like best friends. Oh no, maybe I need to start training again." So then, um, and then Asa then goes up to Bond and then he says, "Well, do you mind training me?" He says, "Why should I train you? Shouldn't you know everything you need to know?" "Well, that speed you displayed, it was it was fast. Even though I was able to see just a little dash of you, I still felt like you could have went way faster. That was just like a normal sprint, a normal jog to you." He says, "You're not wrong, kid. That was just like maybe a percent of my speed." "I knew it. Do you mind training me?" He says, "You know what? What the hell? I mean, hey, your older man here. I got to get a good drink, and I do owe him. Come on." "Well," says, "come on, we're gonna go train. Now this is going to be a month. I'm gonna say a month before the what arc was it? Sea temple arc. I'm gonna say that. And well, they're going to he's gonna step aside and says, okay, behind and step aside. He says, okay, your task is to cut my hand off, my other hand, and also my left arm. If you're able to do that, then I will consider untrading you in my types of speed and durability endurance." He says, "What? No, that's easy." He then pulls out his lost vein and he rushes in to cut Bond. Bond is still drunk at this matter. He's very drunk. And he tries to slice him. He tried to slice Bond. Bond then steps one out of the way. Meliodas, I mean, it's true. I said Meliodas. Asta then said, since he knew that he was going to probably do that, so he turns his blade and tries to stab to his left where Bond stepped to. Bond ended up jumping up, his feet up into the air over Asta, and then he slams down, his feet planted on Asta. He then jumps up and lands on a branch. Meliodas in the doorway as the rest of the squad, they're all looking. Meliodas is still juggling on some juice. I'm gonna say juice, juggling on some juice, and then it says, "Why is he's going real rough on him?" Meliodas says, "He's fine as long as he don't, as long as well, Asta don't go rampant. No, and he's fine." He says, "Wait, what? He can still do that?" He said, "Yeah, I mean, anger. He still has anger. He's still angry. You know what I'm saying?" Then Bond, then Asta then tries to get up. Then he falls down on the knee. He says, "What? That attack you just wasn't even that strong." He says, it says, Meliodas in the door. He says, "Hey, Bond, you cheater." What do you, he says, Asta then looks and says, "What do you mean?" Everyone else is like, "Nope, I'm not telling." And he says, you should figure it out on your own." He says, I'm getting weak." He then rushes over to Bond as fast as he can, and then he just starts punching rapidly, punching Bond. Bond is just standing there taking all, and then the punches start to slow down. And he says, why am I getting so weak? I can't move this fast now. It's just questioning through his head, like, what is this? And he then tries to punch Bond in the face, and then his hand falls. And then Bond then lifts his leg up and kick Asta towards the tree, and the tree breaks. And Bond ends up standing up straight, filling out his hands and everything. He says, "Wow, kid, you have such amazing magical power just for your age, bro. Your dad, this seems a little close to your dad, just a little bit. Oh, jeez." Said, "Well, I guess I should end this." Then he reaches up, he puts his hand in there, he rushes towards Asta while he's down. He's on a tree. He says, "I can't move. Why? Why?" He says, "He stole it. My power. He got stronger while I got weaker." And no, that can't be. He says, "You know what? Maybe." Bond ended up putting his hand up, and he punches downward, hitting Asta directly in his center. And Asta then starts to spit out blood. Everyone seeing that what just happened, but then Asta then activates his assault mode. He activates his assault mode and grabs Bond by the hand, and then he grabs his horse vein and he does trillion slash and cut all you saw, and he cut Bond into millions spectacle pieces, and everyone is under shouting and says, "What have you done? Why would you do that? Why did you kill them?" And then Bond ended up coming back from behind and says, "Well, kid, you did good. I ain't gonna lie to you, that kind of reminded me of that fight I had with your dad once. Jeez." He says, "I told you, cheating always comes with a price, and stop stealing people's power." He says, what kind of sense does that make? That is literally my ability to steal." He says, "No matter. Asta, you can get out of your assault mode now." Asta then starts to get a little angry. He starts to get more angry because he just stole his power. It's like, why didn't I figure this out sooner? So, and his magical power starts to rise, and they start to feel the bloodlust inside him. Bond ends up seeing this. He rushes behind him. Meliodas also does the same, and they tap him on his neck and his back, knocking him out of his assault mode. Now, Asta is knocked out, and they take him back into the house, and Asta is now asleep on the couch while Bond and Meliodas are getting wasted with Vanessa. And Yami is just scared of them now. He's very scared of them now. Don't worry. Yami ain't gonna be just a bunch of this group. Nah, I don't think Yami just gonna be done with all of this, just giving up. But yeah, this is gonna be a month beforehand of the whatever's done. It's gonna be a month of before the Sea Temple arc comes in, and so he's gonna meet. Now, what I'm gonna try to do is have him meet many more of the seven deadly sins. Now, Elizabeth is gonna be in here, but if you want to predict how I'm gonna do it, I already got a plan on how I'm gonna do it. But if you want to predict on how he's gonna do it, go ahead and try to predict that. But yeah, anyways, what I've done, finally I can get this out. Y'all been asking for it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it meets your standards of what you wanted. Hope it's good. And see you next video.